Hi there, my name's Kathleen Kettles and I've been working as a psychotherapist and reverse therapist for 14 years. I decided to do this because I wanted to give something back and allow people to email me, maintain their anonymity and just ask me questions of everyday problems and worries that people have. So this is not meant as a substitute for medical or psychiatric support. This is more of an agony aunt type situation. Vlog, I believe the term is. So I've had 3 emails, all quite different, that I'm going to answer, and with every single email I'm not going to disclose where the people come from or use their real names. So all the names I use will be made up. I just feel that this is going to be easier if I do this from the beginning, even when people who've inquired have said it's okay to use their name. I think I'd rather not, just to keep it all the same. So this is the first time I've done this type of agony aunt type setup, and I hope you find it useful, because we all know that when one person asks a question, it can help answer 100 other people's same situation or questions. So this first email that came in is from Mary, not her real name, and it was entitled Dad and My Neighbour. So of course I was thinking, but actually it's a really good email. So good question. Dear Kathleen, every Christmas I invite my mum, dad, auntie and uncle for Christmas dinner. I really enjoy us all getting together. Even though we live in the same town, having a family meal at my place is really special. My elderly neighbour lost her husband in October of this year and she has no other family. I really want to invite her to my place so she's not having her first Christmas alone. The problem is, my dad doesn't like her very much and finds her irritating as she's quite a chatterbox. What should I do, as I really can't stand the idea of her being alone? Well, Mary, first of all, your mum and dad have done an excellent job bringing you up to be a compassionate and caring person. And as you're the hostess at Christmas, it's really up to you who you invite. The other thing is that your neighbour may not actually want to be around other people this Christmas. So I would suggest that you go along and see your neighbour. You ask her how she's doing and how she's feeling about Christmas, and that you would like to invite her to yours for Christmas dinner. Now, she may or may not want to do that. If she doesn't want to do it, you could suggest perhaps going along later in the evening and taking her some of your leftovers or whatever, just, you know, so she's not completely on her own at Christmas. Again, it might be that she's quite happy to just watch the television and be on her own that day. But if she does want to come for Christmas dinner, then I wouldn't be asking your mum and dad for their permission to do that, as you're going to be the hostess and you're doing all the work. It really is not up to them whether she's there or not. So I would speak to your neighbour and ask her if she wants to come. If she wants to come, then tell your parents once that's been arranged. Just say, I've invited her, I didn't want her to be alone, and I know it's going to be a bit different this year, but that's it. You're doing it anyway. So I hope that helps, because I think above and beyond everything else, that's a really kind gesture that you've, and you know, you care enough to ask her, and your dad needs to just deal with that, really. There we are. Now this second one from Sarah. Dear Kathleen, I am 23 and I'm the big sister to an 18-year-old brother. We get along really well. Recently he confided in me that he's gay. I'm the first person he's told. I don't think our mum will care, but I think dad will. If I'm totally honest, I'd rather he wasn't gay. I'm not homophobic, but I'd just rather he was straight, as his life would be so much easier. How should I support him? I feel out of my depth. Well, Sarah, first of all, I'm glad your brother was able to confide in you, because it can be very, very difficult. I think it's really interesting that you say, I'd rather he wasn't gay. I'm not homophobic, but I'd just rather he was straight, as his life would be so much easier. But his life would be so much harder if he pretended to be straight when he was gay. I mean, really, that would be his whole life being lived as a lie. And I don't know where you live actually, but at least in the UK, although homophobics are around, and they certainly do exist, there is a much more supportive community where he can, you know, be openly gay and not face terrible persecution. So I suppose your fear is that your dad is going to react badly, but you need to also really think about the way you've worded this email about wishing he would be straight, because the fact that you've felt that, you know, he probably is aware of that too. He's probably very aware that it's not going to be easy for you, it's not going to be easy for your mum and dad, but he has told you. So celebrate that. Celebrate the fact that he is able to recognise who he is at 18, which is tremendous actually. I would ask him who he wants to tell next, because you're right by his side. You want to support him. So does he want to confide in a friend? Does he want to speak to your parents next? You've already done a wonderful thing by telling me what a close relationship you have with him. And you were being honest. Of course, in many ways, life is simpler for straight people. However, he is gay, and that can be celebrated by all of you once your family all know about it. So please do just ask your brother what he would like you to do next to help him become openly gay and move on with his life. And yeah, have a great time getting to know him and sharing all of this with your parents in time. So yeah, thank you for writing in. This next email I got was called "I don't like rugby," which seems a little bit random, but yeah, it's a serious situation for this young lad. Dear Kathleen, my dad has always loved rugby, playing it and watching it. I'm 16 years old, and my dad has been making me play rugby for as long as I can remember. When it was non-contact / tag rugby, sorry I don't know much about this, it was okay, but I still didn't really like it. I'm now old enough for playing contact rugby with my age group, but I really don't want to. I sometimes pretend I'm not well so I can miss training, but I don't want to keep doing that. Can you help me? Because I don't know what to say to my dad, because I think he'll be really sad if I don't follow in his footsteps. I'm his only son. I have 3 sisters who don't care about rugby either. Thanks, and I'm calling this person Bruce. Well, Bruce, this is something I see over and over again in my work as a therapist. People growing up in a family where one occupation or one sport or one artistic leaning is preferred by the family or by a parent, and the child is growing up feeling they'll let their parent down, that they'll be disappointed in them if they don't follow in their footsteps. And actually, in the main, it's all created in our mind because we think we're under pressure to gain their approval and to be accepted by following what they want. Actually, this is about you finding a way to constructively express what you're feeling. So this is just about being emotionally honest, because actually your dad wants you to be well. Your dad, you don't say anything negative about your dad in the email, so I'm sure you're in a loving family. Your dad might have great ideas about what he wants for you, but if it's going to make you unwell or fake being unwell, then that's not what he would want for you. So I would encourage you to do something I ask a lot of my clients to do about speaking up and saying what you really feel. And it's done by really thinking about a way of communicating that isn't going to be too scary for you, and it will be received in a more healthy way. Because when we dive in with what we want to say, we can become really emotional, either be angry or really tearful, and it all comes out a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So if you write these words down, I'm going to explain to you what I want you to do with this template that you're going to use to help speak up and say what you really feel. So the first word is positive. The next word, and this is written in list form, so the positive is the first word. The event is the next word. The feeling associated with the event, so the feeling is the next word. The need, and in brackets next to need you can write what I'd prefer, and then a positive ending. So taking your situation, Bruce, with your dad and the rugby, you would start off by saying, Dad, can we have a chat, just me and you? That's enough of a positive opening. The event could be, you know, I've been playing rugby since I was 8, and you and I have been out doing training together, and you love it, don't you? Your dad will say yes, probably. So then you say the feeling. The thing is, Dad, I've been really nervous about having this conversation. I've been feeling really upset about this. What I need you to know, so you're now on to the need, what I prefer, is that I really don't love rugby. In fact, sometimes I've made myself unwell because I didn't want to go to practice. It just doesn't do it for me, it's not my thing. And I've been worried about telling you because I thought you'd be really disappointed and upset with me. Positive ending. If you're a hugging type of family, I'd be going in for the hug at this stage. If not, I'd just be saying, I hope you understand, Dad, because I don't want to make things difficult between us. Your dad, if he's as good a dad as he sounds, I think will just want you to be happy and well. So give him a hug and keep being emotionally honest, because this is your life and you're entitled to live it exactly as you wish to, providing you're not hurting anybody else, of course, out in the world. But you know, choosing to do sports that you're interested in, arts, crafts, music, whatever. If rugby's not your bag, it's not your bag, and that's it. Well, thank you for listening to my first vlog on Just Ask Kathleen. You can email me at justask@kathleenkettles.com. That's plural kettles. So justask@kathleenkettles.com. Drop me an email and I'll do my best to answer you and give you my advice. If I feel that what you're writing about is too serious for me to answer, I will email you privately and perhaps encourage you to seek medical advice or speak to your doctor. Anyway, that's the serious part over with. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed speaking to you and I hope it's been helpful. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.